In a world where carbs are your enemy, you need one man to help you fight your battles. That man is Jimmy.
Combating nutrition disinformation and general bull. It's Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com.
You've been looking for a quality brand of CBD oil and didn't know where to turn? Let me introduce you to Botan CBD. Go to botancbd.com, that's B-O-T-A-N CBD.com, and you'll see a full line of CBD oil products. The benefits of CBD oil are plentiful, including pain relief, anti-inflammation, mental clarity and focus, stress and anxiety reliever, and the list goes on. I've been using Botan CBD oil on my sciatica pain, and it makes it disappear. You can rub it on the body or take it orally, and you can trust that Botan CBD is the highest quality CBD oil on the market. They are a pharmaceutical grade organic CBD, small batch and handcrafted for you. Head on over to botancbd.com and use the code Jimmy at checkout for 15% off your first order. Live life well. Botan CBD.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Instagram Live. And we're here with another episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website if you want to engage in the content. We start off over on Instagram, do a couple live videos every single day. So go follow me there at Living Low Carb Man, LIVINLOWCARBMAN. Once you're there, you can engage live in the content, just like Texas Livingston and Kiki and Beth and Josh and Anna and Coria. All of these guys are in here right now engaging in the content live with plenty more to come. If you missed the live, you can watch the replay for up to 24 hours on Instagram. So definitely follow me on Instagram. If you're not the Instagram type or you missed the replay, definitely go check out all the past episodes. We throw them up on YouTube. Just type in a keyword, Jimmy Rants. You will find the show on YouTube. Finally, we have a Jimmy Rants podcast, which has the best of the best moments of this here show in podcast form over on Apple Podcast and Stitcher. JimmyRants.com is the website. Today's Jimmy Rants is all about this notion that if you are online and you're engaging in social media, that you have to put on a happy face, that it always has to be cheerful information. It always needs to be positive. You can never share any feelings, blah, 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 blah. And you guys know those accounts that do that they're always positive, and you always have to ask yourself, what's wrong with them? Why do they feel the need that it always has to paint this Pollyanna-ish picture of what's going on? Now, we've also seen just the opposite of that. People that are just woe is me, death, gloom, destruction all the time. So you've got these two extremes where people share only the good stuff, as my friend Keto Coach Lauren talks about, showing just your highlight reel of what good is happening in your life. And then you got people that like to share their low light reel, where they're only sharing all the bad, negative, woe is me kind of stuff. And we've seen both of those kinds. But the accounts that I'm most attracted to are those people who share very openly, very honestly, and sometimes very raw. And it's in that rawness that you have a connection with them. And so if you connect with people on a human level, at a very raw level, if you can connect with them like that, I think that's more real than probably anything that you would be exposed to. So what I want to talk about here today is something that came up with a friend of mine when I posted last week about how I was disappointed I wasn't invited to speak at some of the bigger keto conferences as a speaker this year. and that I hope it's not because of my weight. I hope it's not because of blah, blah, blah. And so I just shared very openly and honestly, not accusing anybody of anything, just kind of thinking out loud and sharing the raw feelings that I had. And this friend kind of called me out on it. And they said, that wasn't appropriate. It came across pretty ugly. And at the end of the day, that was unhealthy. So I wanted to talk about here today on this Jimmy Rants episode is about sharing your honest thoughts and feelings. And so many of us try to do that on social media, whether that is a healthy thing or an unhealthy thing. And again, you can cross the line, be too Pollyanna-ish, just sharing the highlight reels, all the good stuff, and too gloom and doom, where all you're sharing is negative stuff all the time. But I think a good mix between the two is not necessarily unhealthy, but I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say. And yes, my friend Maria Emmerich just poured out her heart and soul all about this very topic, which was another thing that triggered this Jimmy Rants today. As much fat shaming as I get, and you know who you are on YouTube if you're watching this, saying that I eat whole boxes of donuts and drink Coca-Cola after I do Jimmy Rants. I haven't had those in a long time. Maria poured out her heart and soul about fit shaming because she's often mocked and scorned because of how she looks, but it's the other way. Oh, you're anorexic. Why did you adopt children from another country? Why not America? She gets some ugly, ugly, ugly people coming her way. And here's the thing about Maria. She is such a tender-hearted, beautiful soul inside and out that when she lashes out in a post like she did, go read Maria Emmerich's latest post. When she does that, I mean, someone has pushed her to the brink because she doesn't engage. She doesn't do well with negativity. I'm so used to it now that I don't really react negatively quite so often. Just because it serves no purpose. I could literally do it daily if I wanted to. But I pull back the curtain for you guys so you can see some of this stuff that's put out there. Because I think people that aren't in this space as a noted name, you don't realize all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. Again, if the people only show all positive, squeaky clean, all of this stuff all the time. And so, is sharing your honest thoughts and feelings on social media unhealthy? I don't think so. I can tell you as someone who is in this community who gets a lot of hate and judgment all the time, I find it cathartic when I can share, especially with family. You guys are family to me. Your friends, your people that follow my work, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you. And I think if we give perspective all along the way of this health journey, that's nothing but a good thing. And yet this friend called me out saying that by me sharing, quote, negative stuff, that it's unhealthy and it's ugly, and you need to stay positive and squeaky clean and uplifting always. And you guys know my jam is encouragement. What I'm all about is uplifting people and inspiring people. That's what I've always, always, always been about. And so when I heard those comments, it kind of shocked me because I think part of what attracts people to my work is not just that I share information, but you feel like you know me, you feel that connection to me because of my willingness to share not just the good, but the bad and sometimes the ugly. And do you find that, you guys? Do you find that some of the people that you're attracted to the most on social media tend to be those people that they're not all Pollyanna-ish, they're not all gloom and doom-ish. They kind of fall in that middle area where they share just life. They share every day. Maria does that really well. So go follow Maria Emmerich if you're not already following her. Keto Karma does that as well. Suzanne Ryan, if you ever read her post, she's very open about things as well. Keto in Canada is another one that I like to follow. She's amazing. and sometimes overshares, but that's another story for another day. But I do love her work and all that she's doing, to be open and honest with people. Keto Coach Lauren, I think, is another great one that is open and honest. You ladies are very able to do that a lot better than guys. I'm trying to think of male accounts that do this and do this well. It's kind of hard. I do know Ryan Lowry does a great job of sharing positivity in his account. Love following him. There's just so many people that feel like they have to put on a face when they go on social media. Okay, let's just show the happy moments and not let people see the ugly side of who and what we are. And then you got people who only show the ugly side of who and what they are, and you never see that they're actually ever happy. And those two extremes, I ain't got much time for, because you're not really helping anybody by sharing in that way. But if you share a lot of good and you share some bad and sometimes some really ugly, I think that that's really good. Thank you, Dr. Joe. Yes, Keto Savage does a great job, and so does his fiance, Crystal Love. So that's Robert Sykes and Crystal Love. They both share very openly, both on their stories on Instagram, as well as in their posts, very openly. So yeah, thank you for reminding me of them. So what I'm sharing here today, you guys, and the bottom line in this Jimmy Rants is sharing your honest thoughts and feelings on social media unhealthy? And I think there is a fine line. There is certainly a point where you can go overly so. And I get called out from people from time to time. Why do you even share about what blah, blah, blah? And I'm going, because it's real, because it's happening, because it could be contributing to the stress that is keeping cortisol raised in my body that then turns into stored belly fat. And so it all matters. And I think if you don't talk about these kind of things, then you can't ever get to the point in your journey where you can figure things out totally. It's one reason the other day I did a whole video announcing that we're going away for 6 months starting September the 1st. So September 1st, 2019, all the way to February 29th, 2020, we're going to be off of social media. No Jimmy Rants, no podcasts, no book writing, no YouTube videos, no nothing for 6 months, because we need that break. We need to see if lowering the cortisol does move the needle on the belly fat, among other things. That's just but one thing. And so I don't think it's unhealthy. I think what's truly unhealthy is if you have things happening in your life and you have no outlet for sharing those. So if you're able, and you have a following like I do, if you're able to share thoughts and moments with other people that follow your work and appreciate what you do, yada, yada, and you're able to share those things so that they have a connection to what you're going through, it might actually be helpful. It might actually be, even dare say it, healthy to do that and to let go of the stress and to embrace the reality of what life brings you sometimes. And that's what I love about Maria Emmerich. If you're just joining us, Maria Emmerich posted all about some of the ugliness that she has experienced lately. It's one of the reasons I love that lady to death, and I think her sharing so openly like that is amazing. And the reason I'm invoking her name is this friend of mine responded to me in a post that I did last week that shared openly on social media that was unhealthy, and you should really follow the example of what Maria Emmerich does. And I knew that Maria posted from time to time some open, honest things as well. And so when she did so today, I was like, was that healthy? Was that unhealthy? I think for Maria, that was extremely healthy for her, because she, as of the recording of this Jimmy Rants, had over 770 comments on that post. Now, you don't get 770 comments and over 3,000 likes on a post unless you strike a nerve with people. And I think it was great what she shared about the fit shaming that she gets, about some of the ugliness that she deals with behind the scenes. And most people would look at Maria and go, why is she dealing with ugliness? She's the epitome of keto success. She's the epitome of everything that's right about being on a ketogenic diet. She doesn't have any weight on her body. Oh, she has not enough weight on her body. I mean, you really can't win in that context. So it's cathartic for her to share about it. And I think it's cathartic to share from time to time things that are happening. So the bottom line in this Jimmy Rants is sharing your honest thoughts and feelings on social media a healthy or unhealthy thing? And I definitely want to hear from what you guys have to say. Now, again, the caveat I gave at the beginning, you can overshare, too much negativity all the time, or you can make a Pollyanna-ish attitude about it and show only positive all the time. I think there is a happy medium that is more connecting with people than those two extremes. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for being here today with another episode of Jimmy Rants. Maria Emmerich's last post was real and raw. Yes, hashtag our journey, says middle of a forest. And I love Maria. Of all the people in the keto world, and I've got a lot of friends in this space, she's my first friend when I have to talk to somebody. And I call her and she calls me, and it's a beautiful relationship that we have, friendship that we have, that we can lean on each other. And what's funny is, on the opposite ends of things, I get the fat shaming, she gets the fit shaming. So it's like, who's that perfect person in between our two extremes? Jeff says, I got told by a friend today that I'm killing myself with keto. Well, yeah. And you should be able to share about that, Jeff. You can say, hey, look, with all that we have out there about keto and the benefits of a low carb, moderate protein, high fat diet, there's still people that think you're killing yourself. And you should be able to post about that, Jeff. And I encourage you to post about it. AZGO111, thank you for bringing this up. Yeah, I mean, we need to be honest with ourselves, number one, but then with other people. Because if you can't speak honestly, what help are you giving other people? If you can't share when something is happening in your life that could be impacting your health, if you're talking about keto, oh, just eat low carb, high fat, and all of your woes go away, and that's all you see on social media. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, you're dealing with a stressful job. You're dealing with a child who has gone astray and isn't acting right. You're dealing with just stuff that happens in life, and then that manifests itself as belly fat, and then you're showing all this Pollyanna-ish about how great keto is. People will start to question, well, why are you dealing with the body fat? And so then you're forced into saying, well, maybe there's more things going into it than just the nutrition. And that's why I think sharing some more, sprinkled with lots of positive stuff, but sharing the honest stuff too, is so incredibly healthy. Bonnie Lene, yes, always uplifting you are. I think it's good you're honest, you share life with us, and it's real. And Bonnie, I get a lot of arrows for being real, because I could quite frankly never come on camera and hide my face and hide what I look like and simply just share uplifting, positive memes all the time. You guys deserve better than that. You guys deserve to see that I'm on camera, which, by the way, I'm over 25 pounds down since the beginning of the year. Nobody wants to talk about that. And I'm far healthier because of this keto carnivore that I'm doing right now. Nobody talks about that either. They just want to judge based on what they see. And of course, I'm not hiding. I go to conferences. I just did an event in West Virginia. I'm going to the NTA conference in Portland, Oregon this coming up weekend. I'm out there. I don't hide. And I know there's this notion that a lot of people say, well, I'll just do my thing on social media and stay positive and only put on a happy face. Who is that actually helping? Can anybody tell me what that style of doing social media does to help people? But I sure will tell you what helps me when I see someone else going through something that I'm going through and that I can relate with. They're empathizing with me. And if you have that empathy with other people going through similar circumstances, that's a connection. And it's that connection that keeps you guys coming back here on Jimmy Rants every single day. And I appreciate that. Beth says Drew Manning from Fit to Fat to Fit is also raw and real. Yes, he is. And he's been very open and honest about how the divorce that he went through impacted him and how it's changed his thinking. So yeah, he doesn't have to share any of that stuff, but he does. And it's what I appreciate about Drew for sure. Selena says AD Keto is also real. I need to follow AD Keto a little closer, but thank you for bringing that one to my attention. Kimberly says, Jimmy, you're real. I love it. Yesterday, my way of eating was attacked. I used the wisdom you've taught us in how to get her point. She's misinformed about keto and only came out because of how I asked. So thank you. Yeah, there will always be people who will question why you do keto and question, quote, all that fat, question pretty much your motivation for why you're eating the way you do. The knee-jerk reaction is mind your own business. I'm gonna do me and you do you, boo. You know, and at the end of the day, we need to be respectful. But I always listen to people that are negative about keto. Okay, that's good. Gives me something else to rant about. So thank you for that. Pam says, I think you need to share. It makes it real, and you do help others who think they're dealing with negative stuff alone. It helps. Keep on sharing. And Pam, that's the thing that I was telling this friend about why I share so openly. And I've said this many times before, but the reason I share about some of the negative stuff that comes through, and people say, well, just ignore the haters, the trolls. They're always going to hate. And that's too flippant, guys. I mean, I could certainly not ever share, but that doesn't help anybody. The reason I share when I do and the frequency by which I do, which is not every day, but often enough, is there's a lot of people getting in on this keto space that are friends of mine that are kind of new to dealing with all this stuff. Keep in mind, I've been dealing with this for about 15 years. I've been online doing this gig for a very long time. And so I've dealt with the good, the bad, the ugly of what the internet brings. And so I'm trying to encourage those people that have come along in the last couple of years, maybe within the last year, who are trying to make a name for themselves in keto, to be that encouragement to them. Because a lot of them are just totally oblivious. And if I never shared about what I deal with on a daily basis, if I didn't share from time to time some of the stuff, and then that stuff starts happening to these newbies, they're going to go, oh my gosh, what is wrong? And I'm here to tell you, if that's you, nothing's wrong. Congratulations. You have arrived when you get haters. Ashton says, I stay off of posting personal issues on social media because of the negativity and bashing. And that is a real and present danger, Ashton. That is why people tend to shy away from social media. Or shy away from talking about certain things on social media. I talk about everything. And this friend of mine, actually, the way he found me was I posted a couple of years ago on Easter Sunday. I posted about, hey, today's the day that Jesus rose from the grave, and we're thankful for all that he did, dying on the cross for our sins. And as a Christian, I appreciate that that he did that for us, and let's celebrate the real reason for Easter. And that's what I posted, and he was attracted to that because I shared something that was off of what my normal posts are, and I was getting some negativity in the comments from people that are anti-Christian and all this stuff. And so he reached out to me, and that's how we connected. And so the very thing that I did that made him connect with me is still what I'm doing, that now he brought up that he was concerned. And I can respect that he was concerned that it was an unhealthy thing to share openly, but that's what I do. That's who and what I am and what I've always done. Lori Mutter says, let's call it for what it is, not fit or fat shaming. It's plain body shaming, and that's unacceptable. You think that would be common sense, but common sense doesn't seem common anymore. Lori, no, it does not. And I have come to the conclusion that if you're going to be online, you're going to have to accept some abuse, visibly online. You're going to have to accept some abuse coming your way, and you do your best to deflect that abuse. And that's the way I use it, not just hate, but it's abuse. You're physically, emotionally, spiritually, all being abused. It's an affront to who and what you are, but that just comes with the territory. So if it means I share raw and honest and people don't like some of that, then so be it. I think it helps more people when you do that. You're doing an awesome job. Thank you, Keto for Real Life People. Nancy does a great job too, you guys. Definitely go follow Keto for Real Life People. Congratulations on your success. Thank you, Sweet Benefits. Appreciate that. You work so hard every day. Thank you, Bonnie. Proud of you, my friend. I noticed the weight loss. I think you're awesome. Thank you for that. Honesty is always the best route and keeps it real. And see, Nancy, you and your branding is all about being honest. And yeah, you're another one of those that you share so openly and so raw sometimes. And that connects with those people that follow your work. And I don't think we need to be discouraging honest thoughts and feelings being shared on social media, because at the end of the day, that helps more than it hinders. Fit for life running, keto strong. I think you look great. Keto on. It can only get better. Thank you. I'm excited to see how the keto carnivore will continue for me. And then when we start taking time off September 1st, what's that going to do to move that needle on the belly fat, which I call cortisol belly, because the rest of my body's actually leaning out and I can see the muscles and stuff. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Sweet Benefits, thank you for keeping it real. This is so real life. And I think real life needs to be depicted. I think it's one of the hindrances that social media has done to our society. Our society, number one, they don't know how to talk to each other anymore because social media has made it so easy to lash out. Number two, I think social media gives people permission to paint the picture of their life that they want people to see. And if you're online to help other people and you're only painting a picture that you want other people to see, how wrong is that? How misleading, I suppose is the word, is that? It's not really going to help anybody. So if you're online to help people and you're not sharing openly, honestly, and raw, not overly so, but to a point where people can relate with you, you're not doing anybody any good. Nancy says, we all have a journey that's full of struggles and successes. We have to share the struggle to help others who are going through the same thing. Life isn't all rainbows and butterflies. No, it is not. And there are some days that Jimmy Moore wishes he wasn't Jimmy Moore. Don't get me wrong. I love all that my life has given me, but there are some days that you deal with the stuff that's out there. And I think it's okay to share about those days from time to time. Ashton says, judging and body shaming is unacceptable. No one knows what someone's going through. We need to uplift them. Yeah, Ashton, that's the theme song of what Christine and I talked about on our Jimmy Rant's Nutritional Pearls crossover episode yesterday. And it airs today, by the way. Go listen, llvlc.com, when it airs later today. But that's what we were talking about. We're all different. We're all bio-individual. And so if we don't embrace those differences and realize that some people are going to have more weight on their body as they pursue optimal health, and some people will have no weight on their body in excess and yet be incredibly unhealthy on the inside. And we have to respect the bio-individuality of us all and not judge one and praise the other when the one could be healthy and the other one could be unhealthy. Semi-Tough One says, I love honesty and straightforward people. Due to my profession, I try not to post any negative emotion on social media. Anybody that's ever worked with me through some kind of a relationship, business-wise, the first thing I tell them is, I hope you don't mind blunt. I hope you don't mind super duper dippity honest, because I don't think it helps you as a company if I'm not 100% open and honest with you. And most of them respect that. So when I'm like, this sucks, this is horrible, go back to the drawing board, they know it's coming from a sense of, I want them to be better. And I've had some companies actually change the formulation of their product because I was willing to say, you know what, that's not good. Take out this ingredient, add this ingredient. No. Whereas I could have easily just said, yeah, just give me your money, I'll promote your existing product. And that serves you guys in no good way. So I look out for you, even with these people I work with as sponsors. I look out for you by calling them out when they put something in a product that's horrible. There's a company that sent me something recently, and I looked at the ingredients. It had tapioca starch and all kind of carby stuff in it. And they're, oh, it's keto. I'm like, no, it's not. Not even close. And so I called them out on it, and now they're changing their formulation based on my recommendations. So I keep it real always. There's a lot of people who use social media to be keyboard bullies. And Ashton, that's the thing. You're always going to have those people will always be out there to try to discourage you. But that's where we as reasonable people don't give those people the time of day. I'm a big believer in encouragement and uplifting and inspiring and all of the positiveness that could be good about social media. But at the same time, I'm also all about people sharing openly, honestly, not fearing sharing, because it's in that shared human experience that we learn more about each other. You guys know a lot more about me because I talk openly, honestly. I'll from time to time share, I did this yesterday on my Instagram stories. I shared this comment that I got from somebody who responded on one of my Jimmy Rants videos on YouTube that, oh, please be honest with people. You're not really doing keto, and you probably ate a dozen donuts after you got done with the video, and then you guzzled it down with soda. That's what he wrote. And so I post that not to say, oh, woe is me, look at the negativity I get, but just to show, look at the stuff that happens, you guys. And I think if you have that context about what I deal with, it maybe makes you appreciate that I do try to stay positive most of the time in my work, and the challenges that come from that. It also gives perspective on why we need to go away for 6 months and why I need to de-stress and learn those things that will help in the day-to-day with that, to deal with maybe some stored body fat that could be staying on because of those things. Context is everything. And it's one reason I share so openly is I want you to have the context of, oh, well, he's keto. Why isn't he, skinny and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger? And I'm trying to tell people that it's so much more than just the diet. And so by sharing honestly, openly, thoughts and feelings, it helps so many people, so many more people doing that than to put on this happy face all the time. And no, I don't go the other direction either, where I'm only gloom and doom all the time. I try to stay positive most of the time in everything that I share. And I think that's the right way to do it, with an occasional sharing of the stuff that goes on in life. Well, guys, that's it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. As always, pop on over to JimmyRants.com and you'll see how the show works. We start off on Instagram. We do a couple of live videos every single day, most every single day. Lately, it's been one because I've been traveling. But go check it out at Livin' Low Carb Man on Instagram. You can engage live just like all of these people did here today. Ashton says, love your realness and honesty. You keep it true. Thank you for that, Ashton. So you can watch it on replay for up to 24 hours on Instagram. So definitely follow me on Instagram. If you missed the replay on Instagram, or if you don't do Instagram, go follow me on YouTube. Type in a keyword search Jimmy Rants. You will find the show. Finally, we have a Jimmy Rants podcast on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher. definitely go listen. We put a slow jam music underneath it. It's pretty awesome. And leave us a review there as well. We don't have as many reviews as I'd like on Apple Podcasts, so go leave a review there if you're the Apple type. I'm an Apple type. This is an iPhone. I love my iPhone. Lets me do Jimmy Rants every single day. JimmyRants.com is the website. So guys, until next time, we'll see you then.